Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to my channel. In today's video we're going to be reviewing Star Wars The Rebels episodes 11 and 12. On my notepad in front of me I have some positive thoughts and some negative thoughts about the episodes and the arc as a whole. But nevertheless, I will remind you that there will be spoilers ahead, so this is your official spoiler warning. If you do not want to have a spoiler spoil you, leave the video now. Go check out some of my other videos. There's some pretty cool videos linked below if you want to go check more Star Wars content out, or some of my other gaming content out. But don't forget, at the end of this review I will also summarize and give a score of what I actually thought of the arc and the episodes as a whole. But without further ado, let's get into it. So what did I think about the positives of Star Wars Rebels episodes 11 and 12? Well, starting off, one of the highlights, the absolute highlights for me for these episodes were the rocket troopers. I just felt like they were just absolute badasses. One of the general rule of thumbs for me is that I feel any military units that are added to the Star Wars universe are always a fantastic thing. For example, I'm a huge fan of the Death Troopers. I think many people are. Some people aren't very big fans of the Shore Troopers. However, I'm a huge fan of the Shore Troopers as well. And I would even go as far to say as I actually like the Rocket Troopers more than the Death Troopers. They're absolute badasses flying around everywhere. And even the B-2 battle droid Rocket Troopers. But the Rocket Troopers in our current canon are absolutely fantastic, and it's a great addition to the canon of the Star Wars universe. Another fantastic point of these episodes was to see the crew back together again, because obviously many of the other episodes as of late have been focused mainly on Kanan and Ezra, and I'm not a huge fan of Ezra, and considering he's one of the main protagonists, it's quite irritating. I just find him to be a pain in the ass most of the time, but that's just me. So it was fantastic to see the crew back together again. Seeing Sabine flying up and killing the rocket troopers was fantastic. So well done on the design and the animation of Sabine flying up and actually using her jetpack properly for once. And speaking of flying, it was also fantastic to see a fantastic female captain play a role in the Star Wars universe canon, because I believe we've had a few other strong females in the extended universe. However, it was great to see a female captain brought into the canon. It was also fantastic to see, or maybe just explore and just see the effects of the genocide of the Geonosian people. As you know, it's quite horrific what happened to them. However, it did happen, and it was interesting to learn more about the state of the planet on the actual ground and not just from the air. Speaking of the Geonosians, it was also fantastic to see see the last surviving Geonosian, and of course the Geonosian egg, to see that there is actually a possibility that the Geonosian race could survive, so we may be seeing the bugs for many more years to come. So there we go, ladies and gentlemen, those are the positive points in my view of Star Wars Rebels episodes 11 and 12. Now let's start talking about the negative points. Now if I could summarize these two episodes up in a few words, I would say that there was a great concept behind the episodes, there was a great plot. However, they executed the episodes quite poorly in many respects. Now let's start off from the very start of the episode, just seeing basically the same scene from the Clone Wars where we see the rebels go down and find their fallen comrade's helmet and stuff like that. That was literally an exact copy from the Star Wars The Clone Wars, where they found a clone trooper's helmet when they were searching for Luminara Unduli in the Star Wars The Clone Wars Season 2. Now I respect they may have been giving a few little nods to some of us Clone Wars fans, however it just felt like they were ripping it off Star Wars The Clone Wars because they couldn't think of a proper way to begin the actual plot. And it was just quite irritating to see that take place. It felt like they just couldn't think of something creative and a new way to start it, so they had to go back to their old episodes and just sort of copy off of that. Speaking of previous characters that have entered into the Star Wars Rebels canon, it really pissed me off how we had one bug survive, and the bug was very weak, it was very frail, it was very, oh my god, help me, I'm so sad and stuff like that. Obviously you'd be sad if your entire race was killed, but it just felt like when it had a sonic blaster there, and it could have defended itself more other than reprogramming a few battle droids, which were fantastic to see, by the way. I believe I forgot to mention the battle droids. They were fantastic, but it was very big plot hole that he literally had a sonic blaster and he decided not to carry it with him when he was going to fight the rest of the crew and the rest of the rebels. And you'd think that if your home was being invaded and you had a weapon with you, you'd use that weapon to defend your home. But no, the bug decided to literally just roll over onto its back and cry. So I really was disgusted, because in Star Wars The Clone Wars the bugs were quite fearsome. That everyone sort of saw them as weak, however they very much underestimated the bugs, and it seems like they were just trying to make the bug cute instead of actually, you know, ugly and fearsome and a warrior. Literally just to suit the children that may be watching the show. And there were also more plot holes to this arc. An example would be that when Sabine and Zeb were surrounded by destroyers trying to retrieve a shield generator, instead of using the cannon like Zeb suggested, they said, "Oh no, it's clogged. We can't use the ship's cannons to destroy the destroyers." When if Hera actually got off her ass and actually went and cleaned the cannon a little bit, maybe she could actually use the cannon. There's just subtle little irritations, and I feel like that's a major problem with the series, is that they just don't put enough plan into the writing for us hardcore Star Wars fans, because they think we're really just not going to notice, or as something like that. I really don't know what goes on in their heads. Moving on though, I also felt like the voice acting of Saw was quite poor. He didn't sound anything like the Saw Gerrera of Rogue One, or even of Star Wars The Clone Wars. He just seemed really off, and I feel like he was a poor choice for the role. And obviously it was fantastic to see Kanan lift the big pillar up to let Saw and Rex cross the chasm, and obviously it was good to see a female captain in a leadership position. However, the film was very weak in many different places. Obviously there was a weak portrayal of the bugs, meaning that they were quite, you know, oh my god, I'm so sad, everything's so bad right now, I'm so weak when I literally have a sonic blaster with me to blast you guys away with, but no, I'm just going to roll over and let you guys take me as a prisoner. Now, normally I wouldn't mind this, however, considering the bugs were so fearsome in Star Wars The Clone Wars, it was really quite just really irritating to see them just roll over. Obviously, there were a lot of plot holes, obviously I've summarised them, and Saw's voice acting was quite weak as well. And so if I can just go back to my statement at the beginning of the review, I felt like this arc was was a fantastic concept, and they planned it out quite well. However, the execution of the arc was just really quite poor, and I felt as though they just really didn't care that there were little plot holes here and there. So I'm going to rate Star Wars Rebels episodes 11 and 12 a 3-star arc, as it wasn't the best, however it wasn't the worst we've ever seen from this series. So if you guys did enjoy the video, don't forget to leave me a like, it helps out the channel a lot, and don't forget to subscribe, because I'm going to be doing this every week from now on. And don't forget that I do upload a lot of gaming content, I upload a lot of other Star Wars content, so feel free to check out my channel below the video you are watching right now. But guys, I hope you guys had a fantastic day today. I had quite a good day myself. It was quite boring, just had a bit of a nap, and made some hot bread because we ran out of it. So I guess that's that. But hopefully you guys had a fantastic day today, and I'll see you later.